Hello, today's Friday, April 17th. I'm Chief L.J. Fusaro, and today we're reporting to you from the Groton Emergency Operations Center. We just completed our weekly unified command call where we've gotten all of our key stakeholders in the town together. We've discussed some ongoing operations in the town and some challenges that we're each dealing with and developed some solutions to those challenges. The first thing I want to report to you is the number of cases of COVID-19 we have here in Groton. At the time that this is recorded, we have 38 cases in Groton. In the past weeks, I know that has created some confusion among people in the public because you've gone to different websites to find out what the cases are, and it's reported differently in different venues. This is from our public health director at the Ledge Light Health District. It's the most accurate number currently. The reason you're seeing different numbers is because some of the cases don't get reported to the state because they're coming from different sources. So this is the aggregate number that we have now. So 38 in total for all of Groton. I also want to report to you that the city and town of Groton have both been collaborating on an event that's happening this Sunday, which is through Physicians One, which is located in Groton Square. They're doing a drive-through testing site here at the Fitch High School across the street from the police department on Groton Long Point Road. That's going to be from 9 to 3. But it's important to know if you're interested in getting that testing, you need to get online or contact Physicians One Testing, and we'll have those numbers available for you. You need to be pre-screened and get qualified to come to that testing. So you'll talk with a provider, they'll set you up with the time, and they'll be able to get you into that testing. People won't be getting out of their cars. It's going to be drive-through. The important thing to know is we've done this before. Last year, we worked with Ledge Light Health District to do a mass inoculation of the flu vaccine at the same facility, at Fitch High School. Some of our folks were involved in it. Ledge Light was involved with it. So we have a plan to do this. And again, it's from 9 to 3 this Sunday across the street at Fitch High School. I also want to point out that there are some other avenues for you to get testing if you're interested in that. You can contact your local healthcare provider, your doctor, the person you see on a regular basis, or there's also avenues to do this on a regular basis at Physicians One, but also through Yale New Haven Health as well as Hartford Healthcare. Yale New Haven is also L&M Hospital. Hartford Healthcare is Backus Hospital in Norwich. So there are some venues to do that. Please contact your healthcare provider because, again, you need to be pre-screened. Yesterday, Governor Lamont announced that there will be a mass site to do this down in New Haven. That's done in collaboration with the state of Connecticut, several state agencies, as well as the city of New Haven and CVS. It's going to be located along Long Wharf, which is along the water in New Haven. Again, you need to be pre-screened for that. There are about 700 slots a day that they're going to be doing that with. So in that particular case, it's one of the newer test kits where they can get you a result quite rapidly. So please look at those websites. We'll make them available to you. Go to the governor's website, go to Yale New Haven Health or Hartford Healthcare or Physicians One for additional details. Another item I want to talk to you about is some of the things that we're experiencing here in Groton as it relates to criminal activity. We have seen a slight uptick in some crimes, and these are crimes that can be easily prevented. Recently, we've had a rash of car burglaries and car thefts where people are going into motor vehicles and in your driveways and stealing motor vehicles. We've gotten feedback from some of the people in town that say, hey, this is a safe community, and indeed it is. Where they live is a nice neighborhood. It is a nice neighborhood, but sometimes a criminal element goes to those because that's where the opportunity exists. We've seen car thefts because people are leaving their cars unlocked and keys in the car. Again, easily preventable. We're asking you to help us to help you. Lock your cars, take your keys, don't leave valuables out, bring them into the house. Don't make it attractive to someone who would do a car theft. Lock up your stuff, lock the cars, keep your keys in the house. Don't make it easy. Those are crimes of opportunity. We'd also ask you to remain vigilant. If you see suspicious activity in your neighborhood, call us. If there's something that's unusual, we'll send an officer out to check on it. We do that every day, whether we're under a pandemic or whether we're doing our regular patrol activities. So contact us if you see some suspicious or unusual activities. We also want to alert you to the fact that there are some scams out there right now. We're going to put information also on our Facebook account about scams related to COVID-19, and in particular, the checks that are coming out from the stimulus money that you're going to be seeing in your accounts. There are scams. People try to get into your emails, but also contact you by phone calls. Don't provide any information to folks that you don't know. If you get a call like that, go to the website for the IRS. The IRS isn't going to be asking you information. They're not going to have you providing additional info to these people about routing numbers and bank accounts. They're not going to ask you for last year's tax return. Those are all scams. If you're unsure about it, contact the IRS, get on their website, or you can call us as well. But really, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Don't just give out information, particularly when it relates to private information, your personal identifiable information. Social security numbers, dates of birth, passwords, anything like that. If someone's asking you for that information, it's a scam. Don't trust them. Don't, hang up the phone. Don't respond to the emails. Prevent yourself from being a victim. We've also gotten calls from people that are concerned about violations of the governor's executive orders. Police department does have the ability to make enforcement action against people in those particular cases, but in most of the time we're able to talk to people and resolve it without any criminal charges being filed, and that's our desire. But we also want you to know, particularly when it comes to bed and breakfast and Airbnb and places like that, there are exceptions. Our officers have been alerted to a couple of cases here in town when we've looked into it. The people that are staying in those homes are part of the accepted communities. For instance, we have healthcare providers that are self-isolating, that work at local healthcare facilities, and they're renting homes in order to keep themselves and their families protected. So please be conscious of that, and we are happy to look into that, but also know that there are cases where people are doing things that are in violation of the governor's orders. In many of those cases, we're working with Ledge Light Health District, who does have some authority to regulate certain businesses, food establishments, etc. We're working with them. To date, we have not issued any summonses or made any arrests, and our desire is not to do that. If you're aware of it, something comes up, we will look into it. A couple other items that I want to talk to you about is wearing masks. Our town manager has asked that when you go out, please consider doing this. It doesn't have to be the surgical mask that I have in my hand here. It can be a scarf, could be some other device that when you're out there, again, it will contain some of the stuff that could potentially spread the virus. So again, preventative measures are key. And I want to say thank you. Thank you to those people that have been so supportive of our police department, but also the ambulance services, the fire services here in town. We've gotten some groundswell of support, people bringing us PPE, personal protective equipment, but we've also had people bringing in food and offering to provide that. We want to thank you, but we also want to recognize that there's a lot of other folks out there that are doing a lot of work today that we don't consider part of the first responder community on a during regular times, but they're out doing a lot of work today. People that are in restaurants, people that are working at our local grocery stores, delivery people, mailmen, public works employees that are manning the facilities, the wastewater treatment plants, things like that. Those are folks that are working every day as well. So we want to thank them too. We really appreciate the cooperation we've gotten from the public. And again, just to round out the conversation, please, if you see suspicious activity, let us know. Watch out for scams. Alert your neighbors if you see some things going on in your neighborhood that can be problematic. Lock your cars, take your keys in with you, and be safe. And once again, thank you for everything you're doing. We're happy that so far we're trying to do the best we can here in Groton and New London County as a whole. Stay safe, and remember that we're all in this together. And thanks for your cooperation.